Alright. Let's get started again. Guess what? We're still working on this part of Eldritchrune. I'm so close to finishing, and yet, so far, well, not so far. We are pretty close. I was thinking we're going to do stuff on the ending today, but no. We're going to work on this more today because I really want it done. This part's been taking a while. Ugh, I gotta scoop stuff over so I can actually reach my keyboard and my mouse and all that stuff. See, a lot of the actual shading's done. We're in like final stage of stuff, so what we gotta do, starting off, is add all the black to Ralph's A, which always is, it takes a few steps. So for this session, excuse me, we're going to be hopping around all of the pages a lot. We're going to see a little bit of everything. Lots of it to do. Ralph's is going to look very weird for a while because put the black on first, then the white, so he looks like he has no face. So he's a little bit creepier than normal. But do not worry, we will do that next. Just gotta add like the hazy part of the black to him too. So yes, lots of hopping around the pages today. But if I'm very fortunate, maybe I'll finally get this part done today. I have most of the rest of it done except for like one section where I have to draw some things that I have not somehow gotten to drawing yet. So maybe we'll do that on stream, maybe not. Either way, I will get to them as I get to them. We weren't able to, I wasn't able to do that much on this week because I had to do Anthofractal and I had to do Patreon sketches. So that took up all of my free time this week. Gotta get those things done. Prioritize all that. Now we have to get busy turning Ralse into a void. A void of darknesses. What? Hello, thank you for coming. Oh shoot, and I start my thing and then Dorch just releases a video on Carol Holiday that I want to watch. Oh my goodness, I'll have to do that. I'll have to watch that over lunch after we're done. And I want to see more thoughts on Carol Holiday because she's interesting. Got a little notification on my phone. Anyways, thank you for coming. Hope that you are doing well so far. It is very cold and rainy out today. Actually, yeah, I can do this. I hope the rain lets up by the afternoon. Drawing is still progress. I know writing definitely, that's the kind of thing that like I can't have on a streamer or anything. I'll say, don't look, it's embarrassing. Cover your eyeballs. It was like, hey, my eyeballs. I was using those. Why won't you let me use my eyeball? Ooh, major spoiler. Ooh. Ah. What? Man, I'm so annoyed. I was out of crickets for Alfies. So I went to PetSmart to get some more, and they were just out. They didn't have any. And I'm like, when are they gonna get crickets in? And they're like, oh, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm like, it's not helpful. Because she's not gonna have crickets for a while. I mean, she'll be fine if she doesn't have bugs, because she has her greens, but I'm gonna be less happy because she's gonna go like a whole week without bugs. It's very sad. She needs her proteins. That's all good. It is up to you always how much you want to share. Share it wherever, however you like. Well, I know sometimes that can be hard to gauge sometimes. That terrible pull between I want to show people do it right now versus I can't do it now. It's not done. I want it to be a surprise versus no, I want to show it now. That thing never goes away. Always you must deal with it. Already I'm kind of anticipating, shoot, once I get to the ending of Eldritchrune, there's probably going to be some parts I really can't stream. Because it'll be too spoilery. Like the last 5 or so sections out of 20. I'll be like, I won't be able to show this to anybody. Oh no. I'm sure next week we'll work on ending stuff, because I will not be ready to do another Eldritchrune part, regular part in that time. That's okay. There's still plenty of ending stuff to do. I'm making progress on it, but it is slow progress. I hope I posted on my thing somewhere. See, or else it's going to look kind of weird and black for a little bit. That's okay. Getting a lot of hopping around parts now. Also, if there's weird blank spaces, that's where a text box is. I have that layer turned off, so as not to spoil. You can't see that layer. That's the secret forbidden layer. Also, I always look so doofy from far away. It looks like a little guy. Just a little guy. Where did his face go? You have to copy paste his face. Get down here, face. Yeah, definitely at this stage there's a lot of one thing on one page, another thing on another page. Oh, let's put that there. Sometimes I forget which guys are on which layers. That's why you gotta label them. Otherwise, you'll lose track. And it'll be annoying to other people. I still need to make a Chapter 3 and 4 remix CD for my car. Yes, my car still uses CDs. I need to get a new car at some point, but I'm going to hold on to this one until it falls apart. Yeah, that turned out pretty well. I thought it turned out pretty well. Ah, what are you doing? I like the gel pens, they're fun. Okay, let's see. I think I'll say things here. Yeah, had a whole lot of Xenogears characters seem to have a whole lot of detail in them. It's a tough character design to work with. Let's see, is there any more with Ralse here? I'm trying to identify. It doesn't look like there's Ralse. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do Noelle's eye here, because I think it's the only place that shows up. Otherwise, her eyes are hidden mostly. Did opposite world, where in canon, Chris's eyes are never seen. Noelle's always are, whereas in this version you see at least one of Chris's eyes and not much of Noelle's. It's a switcheroo. A little bit over there. you're happy with it. It does look pretty cool. Makes me miss gel pens a bit. Okay. In general, I need to get hold of some more traditional media. Again, try and do some of that over the winter break. I want to make some gifts for friends and stuff like that. Wait, really? Is this on this one? Oh, okay. Might have been on that one, but no. Oh, no wonder it's that. I'm using the dang eraser. I love when that happens. I don't love when that happens. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually have a set of crayons. I haven't used them much. I could. I'm not sure on what though. Unless I go back to doing waking up drawings again, which I started and then stopped when my wrist went bad again. I should try again because I really like doing waking up drawings. Those are always a nice way to get creative juices flowing. Wrong color. Oh my goodness! Stop hotkeying the wrong thing. Oh, it's the wrong hotkey, Gromit. The wrong hotkey. How did they get ruined? Were they like wet or something? No, Chris, stay blindfolded. Tina's like, I'm helping. I'm helping. You can't fight very good with that blindfold on. Who do you think you are? Riku Kingdom Hearts? Take that off. Not even really a blindfold, just a cowl pulled over their head. Oh. Why would mice chew on crayons? Do they eat wax? That's weird. Is crayon wax something mice can eat? It's a little odd. They were chewed up. Yeah, it sounds like that would be mice. If it was anything. That's odd. Then again, I've only barely had mice. I think I've had like one or two once and have not seen any for a while, so I think they're gone. I think a lot of them ran over here after the building next door was demolished. So they were looking for a new shelter. Plus the weather was bad. And that was a while ago. Okay. Back to Ralsa here. I'm like, no, that's my human. I own that one. That's mine. What are you using for bait in the trap? Maybe you need a different bait. I'm not sure what's the best effective bait for mice. Peanut butter, that is true. That should work. And keep well too. I think that's usually what my parents use with rat traps, because they've had some rats on occasion. I don't know if they've had any recently, but in the past there's been a rat or two, and it always stinks because sometimes you won't know they're there because rats are pretty good at keeping themselves out of the way until like one dies in the walls, like inside the wall, and there's like nothing you can do about it because you don't know where it is. It's inside the wall, and so it just kind of stinks until it finishes rotting, which ugh. I hope you do like it. I hope people like this one. Working very hard on it. Boss battles are always a challenge. But they're pretty fun once they're all done. This will be a two-parter, so it's going to take a couple days for it to come out. Well, at least you saw it down there. And then you can get rid of it. Also, this is pulled over way too much. Because, yeah, if it dies inside the walls or something, like, you can't see it, there's no way to get rid of it. It's just a matter of, like, you smell it. You know it's there because you can smell it rotting. Which is yucky. Why do things have to stink so bad when they rot? There's probably some evolutionary reason. There's the second part with it been to be continued TV end card. It does not, although that would be funny. Although now I'm picturing the first part ending with like that to be continued thing from like, you know, the Yes song. Methane? Oh, okay, that actually makes sense. It's a chemical reaction, okay. Oh, chemicals. Masters of all life. Was it JoJo? Did they actually use the Yes song? Because when I first saw that, it was like attached to a meme, and I'm like, why are they using the Yes song for this? I mean, Yes has good music, so it's kind of appropriate, but it's kind of funny. I'll be around about something, something, da da da. Been a while since I've listened to any Yes. This is dad rock. Rock for dads. They absolutely do. I definitely got dad rock growing up. My parents had a lot of like 70s folk rock. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you being here. I try and do this every Sunday morning. Maybe I'll miss one or two, but I try. It's dad rock now. It'll happen to you. Wait, JoJo was a manga in the 80s? It went that far back? I thought JoJo was kind of a more recent thing. Did they just not adapt it until recently? But it was a manga that long ago? The Bengals. Cherry Cola song. Huh. I'm learning all kinds of things today. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. I had no clue that JoJo was that old. Is the anime then older than I think, and it's just now getting like, you know, English adaptations or English translations or something? The anime started 2012? Okay. I wonder why there was that long gap between the manga and the animation. It's now a JoJo stream. You're all gonna hate me. I haven't watched JoJo. I'm sorry. Turn in my anime card or anime fan card, even though I haven't seen that much anime recently anyway. I used to watch a lot more in college. I had a friend who just had tons of anime, and we would all watch it with college friends. This was before JoJo though, so we didn't have JoJo. This is like 2002, 2004. Arcade Fighter. Stardust Crusaders. I think the next anime I'll check out, I need to check out Frieren, because I've heard that's good, and it's available. Like, I don't have a Crunchyroll subscription or anything, and considering how Crunchyroll's been treating people lately, I don't really want to get one. So I'll have to, if I see another anime, I have to watch it through different means. Although I want to watch Wake Up Dead Man first. I just finished Del Toro's Frankenstein, which was very good. I need to read the book. I had it on hold at the library, and I missed my hold. Because I got Moby Dick instead. Moby Dick turns out is friggin' long, because he spends like 10 million pages describing everything. Yeah, Frieren looks interesting, in the sense, like, you know, I enjoyed Dungeon Meshi. Oh, was there an OVA in the 90s? I'm going to have to go and check. Because I've seen quite a good amount of 90s anime. Because, again, was in college in the 2000s and had a friend who had a lot of anime, and that included some, you know, OVAs. Like, I remember we had, like, Read or Die. The OVA for that. That was interesting. And, of course, we had Escaflowne, both the OVA and the actual series. I'm not sure what happened to my actual Escaflowne toy I had. Apothecary Diaries. Back to Ralsei. Oh, was it a movie? Okay. Yeah, it probably was a movie. I know they're not the same thing quite. I do think I prefer the show Escaflowne to the movie. The movie, like, it had some beautiful music, but it felt like it kind of a bit of a more somber tone. Not much time to cover stuff. Yeah. I don't remember much of it now. I just remember liking the show more than the movie. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. We are trying to get through the last shading of this part that's taking forever. Which in this case means we're filling in all the black on Ralsei. He's going to look all spoopy for a bit. I think an OVA is like, it's not cut exactly. It's not, I think it's a little bit longer than a movie usually. It's kind of like a couple, like 2 or 3. And it's direct to video. Yeah. Yeah, it's like not as long as a full series, but not as one shot short as a movie. Like, you know, 2 to 4 episodes or something like that. I guess that's a format they should bring over here instead of being like, you know, TV shows used to be, you know, 22 or 24 episodes per season. Now they're going to be 8 per season. We're going to call that a season. But in actuality, it's still 24 episodes. We're just going to split it into 3 and pretend like it's 3 seasons when actually it's just 1 we split 3 ways. Can you tell I'm not fond of that? That's a streaming thing, too. Everything sucks forever. Mostly because of billionaires. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Final 2 assignments. I know, it is finals time. Oh, I forgot to erase that there. Let's get rid of a little shiny spot that's on poor Ralsei. Get out of here. Oh yeah, when is the last time we've had a series like Over the Garden Wall? That was one of those real risks that paid off, but I'm like, have they done that again recently? Like a fully animated, just like short one-shot series? Let's see. Also, it's like, hey, that's my human. It's mine. I still need to find Scavenger's Reign. That apparently it was not available on my Netflix when I last checked, and I'm not fond of that because I wanted to look at that. I wanted to. I suppose there's always just the greater internets. I'm not very good at surfing in that kind of situation. Okay. Actually, we can add a bit of black here for other reasons. Actually, try and do it under the base here. There's a hole in your mind. Like Psychonauts or something. I can't remember if this is how I shaded in Sham next time. I probably need to go back and check, actually. I feel like there are some more I did with them. I can double check later. For now, I'm filling in blacks. Blacks! Alright, and that one. I'll say most of these kind of showing up as like, here's my tiny guy. Here I am from the back. My tiny guy. No, apparently, oh wait, no, it's because it's overlapping with this guy. Let me see. Yeah, it helps to remember what layers I'm on. No. I'm back there. Look at this little cat face. Meow. Meow. Just like Zachary. Meow. It is hard. Hope you did well in your test. Especially something like Japanese where, you know, extremely different from English. Different grammar and alphabet, you know, system of writing, all kinds of different, lots of different ways. If I could learn a new language, I'd kind of like to learn ASL. Might be useful to know Mandarin too, but when will you find out if you did well? January, Oh, that's not fair. You should be able to like play the audio a couple times, make sure you get it. I mean, I guess that's not real life, but you know, you're not in real life, you're in a test setting. That's different. My dad and actually both my parents have to give their finals as well. Either this week or next week. Oh, really? Use the same grammar case as English? Okay. Interesting. Like, I'm sure Mandarin is difficult, but I don't think it's the most difficult ever. I heard that actually Finnish is really difficult. I'm not sure why. Subject, verb, object. Yeah. Oh yeah, because Japanese doesn't do it in that order, do they? They swing things around a bit. I guess German does that a little bit, but not that much. And German is obviously still closer to English than Japanese or Mandarin. That was the language I learned. And I used to know it pretty well, and now I've forgotten it all. Does verb last tag everything else whatever order? Whew. That's a little confusing. I wonder how languages develop that way. It's like, where do you put the verb? Where do you put the subject, etc., etc.? Why in that order? That's just kind of how it developed. Hey, it works, yeah. You can make the rules different things as long as you have them. And even then, English is like, rules, well, screw your rules. And yet, everybody is kind of expected to know it, so it's hardly fair. I say only being able to speak English really well. Again, I know like a little bit of German. I used to know it better, but I've forgotten a lot of it because I don't use it. Language's structured logic comes from how it's ordered. It's like the kind of the foundation that a language is based off of. I'm not even sure how the Eldritch language would work for Eldritchrune. It's not understandable unless you just, use magic. Alright, and then once we're done with this page of Rouse, we'll take a stretch break. We'll move on to the next part. Yeah, I do feel like ASL would just be like a useful thing to know. Yeah, he could probably do that, if he wasn't dead. For some people, coming up with a language is just like fun. It's just a fun thing. I did that a little bit for Anthofractal. It hasn't gotten into much use yet, but I at least came up with, okay, this is how their alphabet works. Like, the written language, anyway. The very rudimentary alphabet. And we haven't gotten much chance to use it yet. Maybe in the future. I'm sure it's nothing compared to Tolkien. Like, I'm just going to invent Elvish and Dwarvish and everything else. Yeah, that was really cool. That was a cool language system, the spiral writing. Stuff kind of branching off of each other, kind of the same way they view time. Yeah, it is. It is hard. You got to really just, think about, break things down to their base components and be like, okay, why are things structured this way? How would you communicate if you were in this situation, kind of thing. Alright, it is stretch break time. We'll go on and do the other half of Ralsei's stuff, because he has like the soft shading on the black parts too. Yeah, inventing new language is tough, especially since, like, I'm guessing a large part of what makes a language is, like, the collaborative aspect of it and the fact that language changes over time as you use it. And that being in a different location around different circumstances will change it, considering, like, ostensibly, Americans, English, and Scottish all speak English, and yet there's some major differences in how those sound and how they're used. And that's just one language. I'm sure there's, wildly different, dialects and ways of speaking in, Japanese and across India and China and any large, space where there's a lot of different groups of people. Or just, the fact that, Spain or Spanish from Spain is going to be different from Spanish from Mexico, which is going to be different from Spanish in parts of South America or Central America. It's kind of a fascinating mode of study. I learned a little bit of Spanish in high... Yeah, it's all terrifying. Language, wait a minute, the basis of how we as a species communicate with each other. How does it work? And then we add in all these other elements, like, sure, yeah, we can use language and that's all written and stuff, but have you tried, using visuals? Have you tried music? Body language? We'll do it all. Probably the only thing we can't do is, like, scent language like a lot of other animals can. We lost all of our points in smell when we evolved. The English will fall out of fashion as the world language. That's going to happen inevitably. That's just history. Whoever's the next world power, that's going to be the world language, which, again, probably going to be Mandarin. That's my guess anyway. I think the only reason why English lasted so dang long is because, you know, we went from British Empire to American Empire, and those were both English speaking. But whatever major world power is next, it might not be English. And everybody else will just have to deal with it. No, that's the whole thing, is that whoever's the big world power, that's who controls the commerce, the economy, and whoever controls the economy, that's the language you speak. We'll all just have to deal. Again, I don't know if I'll deal very well, but I guess those transitions usually take a while anyway. All right, I'll be right back for one more stretch and stuff. Alrighty, stretch is done. we will look in the mirror and already be Chinese. This little cat speak. I'm sure there will be lol cats no matter what the new world language is. There's no escaping the lol cats. The meme language, that is universal. Also, sorry if you're hearing pings. Apparently the family group chat is going right now. I will check on that later. I gotta go Christmas shopping for family. I have to do that next weekend, which is why I want to finish this before then. I do the kind of like this fuzzy haze around the edges of Rousey's black voidness. We spin a roulette wheel to decide what becomes of the global language. And the answer is Navajo. Get to it, dudes. Better start learning that. Yeah, see, I'd be fine with that outcome. Yeah, honestly. In terms of sheer volume of people that speak Spanish, quite large. Although if you take like, you know, Brazil and all that into account, I'm kind of wondering like where does Portuguese fit into that? Is Portuguese like is that about an equal number of Spanish speakers, or is there more Spanish than Portuguese? I wonder what the numbers are on that. More Spanish? Okay. Fairly easily? Okay. I was not sure. Yeah, you know, plenty of people in, you know, Spain and Europe speak it, but then, like, you know, probably most of South America and Central America. And that's a lot of people. And good chunks of North America, too. Yeah, Brazil pretty big, but yeah, I think their main one is Portuguese. Spain 40 million, Argentina 50, Mexico 160, America yeah, there's probably a lot of Spanish speakers in America. Other small countries, yeah, so a lot of Spanish speakers. Again, I learned a little bit of Spanish in high school, but that did not go well because the teacher I had for, I think it was my second Spanish class, had to leave halfway through the year due to a pregnancy complication, and then they did not come back, so I'm a little worried about that. But then, we had subs for half the year, and they didn't really care about what was happening, so I hope the average teacher is not having a pregnancy complication. That's not good. It sounded like it was kind of a serious deal. But she wasn't an English teacher. She was Spanish. It was a Spanish teacher. This was Spanish. I did have a thing with my English teacher, but that was a separate deal. But I must defend the honor of English teachers, considering one of them raised me. It's like I dang well better be good at some amount of English. I had a English teacher parent. Yeah, if you don't study it, then it just kind of falls out of use. I wish I didn't have a language. In Australia, they make us learn Indonesian. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, like California, you had to learn Spanish because there are a lot of Spanish speakers. Now that I'm in Canada, the second language used is French. But honestly, I feel like at least on the West Coast, they should actually do Mandarin instead of French, because there's way more people that speak Mandarin here than there is French. Now, if you're in Quebec, yeah, probably there's going to be more French speakers, but not on this coast. Although, do you ever get like a weird kind of comfort from people speaking other languages around you? Like, I don't know, I live in a neighborhood where I think there's kind of a high population of immigrants. There's a lot of, Chinese and Indonesian and Japanese and Korean speakers, and a lot of Indian, Russian, and stuff like that. Like, there's just a wide variety of languages here. So whenever I go out to, like, the park, I'll hear a bunch of people speaking languages I don't know. And, I don't know, that's kind of comforting to me. It's kind of like, oh, there's a lot of different people here, and they all feel comfortable, being themselves and talking in their own languages. I'm not a part of it, and I don't need to be, and I don't know, I find that kind of nice. This feeling of like, oh, there's not this feeling that you have to conform to, what's expected of this particular country. You can, speak how you like. That might be different around different areas. It's just the area I'm in. I go out and I hear a lot of languages I don't know. Again, we're just blasting through all these pages. Probably dizzying. Don't hear the languages too often. Yeah, at least when I was in California, didn't hear that much. But you heard a lot of Spanish. There's a lot of Spanish speakers in California, especially Southern California. But otherwise, it was mostly English. Here, I've heard a much wider variety of things I don't know. It does. I'm not very good at telling a lot of them apart, especially if it's like, okay, if they're written, I can usually tell between like Chinese, or Mandarin, Japanese, and Korean alphabets. Like, I don't know what they say, but I'm like, oh, okay, this is the Korean alphabet, this is the Japanese alphabet, kind of thing. Like, I can tell that much. If they were speaking, especially if they're speaking quickly, you know, with native-born speakers, I probably couldn't tell it apart very, very well. I ain't that smart. And again, we also have a good amount of like Eastern European and Russian speakers here, and I can't tell apart the various languages from that area either. Yeah, I can at least tell the alphabets apart. That much I can do, but couldn't tell you what they're saying. Just be like, oh, this is written in Korean, kind of thing. But that's about the extent of it. At least for me. Also, I probably couldn't tell Spanish and Portuguese apart. I could probably tell the difference between like Italian and French, though. My family is going to be spending time in Italy again next year, so they're trying to learn some Italian to get by. So I'll probably be spending next year's Christmas in Italy. And I'll just have to get by on what they can say, because I don't have the time to learn Italian. Yeah, it's kind of wild. And German is a pretty not too difficult a language to learn if you're an English speaker, because even though there are some pretty different rules, they at least stick with their rules pretty strictly. A lot of the like the sentence structure isn't always the same, but the pronunciation is often very similar between German and English. Oh, that's neat. Honestly, the nice thing about media in different languages, it's a good way to practice. You're doing something fun. I used to know German pretty well. I don't anymore. Doesn't help when you don't practice it. Like I can parse German okay by reading it, but if somebody's like speaking it to me, especially pretty quickly, I will probably miss a lot of it. I might get the gist, but I don't sound super good in conversation. Although my pronunciation for German's okay, because I learned German pronunciation when I was like a little kid. So that part at least stuck with me. Probably not very good pronunciation, but better than probably a lot of other English speakers. Vielen Dank. Forgetting that part's different. Cyberpunk in Japanese. Maybe sometime just for like funsies, I should like pick a game that I already am fairly familiar with and try it in a different language and see what I can pick up. I do appreciate the fact that Toby was so dedicated with getting the translation right for Japanese that he pretty much went and learned the language himself so he can help with the translation, which, hey, they're working on now for Chapter 5. Caked up worms and everything. Is this the way of the worm? To learn a new language? Jethro wouldn't be finished by now if Toby wasn't a weeb. Oh, hello, hello, thank you for coming. Well, didn't those two recently, like, hang out for dinner and something? They can, like, you know, exchange tips on being a Japanese and American. The town was partying. They were. They were just having a, you know, Lancers over there blasting the tuba and everything. Party time in the town. Alright, we have done the black for Rouse. Let's go through and do some eye colors for some other folks. I imagine we're going to get to Castletown at least once more before, you know, shit goes down in Chapter 5. We got to deliver another, Shadow Crystal to Sham. Toby and his fancy bougie Japanese game dev dinner. I just love how it was like, you know, 6, you know, old Japanese men and this one white kid. No, that's really cool though. Living the dream. Toho Project. I know, the perfect grift. All you had to do was make an incredibly acclaimed game on accident. I think we're gonna have to get to Castletown at least once or twice before stuff happens. Again, if for no other reason, one, we gotta check in on some recruits because we haven't seen the Chapter 4 recruits there at all, and two, I think we're going to have to be able to stop by after the Dark World, because I think we're going to need time to deliver the Shadow Crystal, new Shadow Crystal we get. Toby made Undertale solely so Itoi would praise his works. Mission accomplished. You did it. Which, to be fair, like, man, imagine that kind of senpai noticed me power. Again, living the dream. My prediction, actually, I think this was, it's funny that somebody sent me that video of like, oh, check out the Roots Theory kind of video, and I did, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. I have some disagreements on it. But, you know, there's some solid stuff in here. You know, I think this is a really good one. And I checked out their other video, and it was about what they do with the Shadow Crystals. Like, oh, this one I 100% agree with. Yes, completely agree with this one. And it's that the Pure Crystal is going to make one of 4 ultimate weapons, and you're going to have to choose which one you want to make. And that one of those is the Twisted Sword. The catch being that that's actually going to end up being Noelle's ultimate weapon, not a weapon for Chris. But that crystal can also be used for other weapons. Basically, combine it with an object that you get from a secret boss that's relevant to that character to make that character's ultimate weapon. Only Chris is quoted to equip it so far. We might have a future thing where Noelle is added to that. Especially since, like, if you look at the stats for the Twisted Sword, it's really not that much better than, like, the Black Shard. So, like, why would you, you know, do this? It doesn't seem to do much for Chris so far. But this could add a particularly interesting element to Noelle, since we know that Noelle can wield certain swords. And the fact that, like, the trance down thing, that seems kind of relevant to Noelle. Some special hidden abilities and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what would happen if you smuggle it out legitimately. Or else they said you should be able to. But yeah, basically, if you don't do Twisted Sword with Noelle, then your other options are combine it with the Black Shard for Chris's ultimate weapon, combine it with the Justice Axe for Susie's ultimate weapon, and then, assuming that the next secret boss is Rouse focused and gives Rouse a powerful scarf, combine that with whatever the scarf is for Rouse's ultimate weapon. And basically, you gotta choose one of those. Who do you pick and why? Yeah, Noelle can wield two swords right now. She can wield the Jingle Sword and the Black Shard. So overall she uses rings, but she can use certain swords. So I don't think it's completely out of the question for that sword to become equipable by Noelle in the future. Anything else with nope, just Susie's eyes here. But obviously the problem with the Twisted Sword is that you gotta like go through some shenanigans in order to get it, unless we'll be able to take the Thorn Ring off of Noelle later in the Weird route. Then you can only get it by doing an abandoned Weird route right now, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that is my prediction in terms of what the crystal does. Because Sham doesn't say anything like, oh, you're going to be able to change fate with this. This is going to be, a game changer in terms of the story. This seems to be a situation of, I'll make something I think you'll really enjoy. And a really powerful weapon with, some special abilities you would not get otherwise. Sounds like something you would enjoy. It just depends on how you use it. Mr. Antenna, indeed. We're fighting Mr. Antenna. We've been spending so long on this part. I mean, yeah, we equipped the thing to her in Chapter 4, but that doesn't mean, like, it's stuck there forever. We can never take it off again. That might indicate a point of no return of some sort, but... Again, especially if we switch that out to make the Twisted Sword. It's a giant Tenna. I'm huge. Alright, let me get all of that. Susie bites. She bites. Chris Blood mind control. Chris, you used your human mind control powers on me. Just like we were predicted long ago. It's just like, but it's not my mind doing the controlling. Well, if you're not doing the mind control, who is? Dun 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 dun. Okay. Undyne was right all along. There was human mind control. Oh no! I don't care. They're not supposed to resemble real ant eggs. They're supposed to resemble the capsules that they use to capture the heroes. The end. They're ant eggs now that are also prize capsules. Look at these gotchi balls. Human caviar, indeed. You can't get this from an egg. Eggs. Shoot it. Pew, pew, pew. Jenna, why are you so mad at the Pippies? And then you're like, no, my Pippies, they'll never know my secret Pippies. Pippies balls. What is that? Some kind of rat? Some kind of creature? How could it be defeated so easily? It's all good. She bite. Okay. Here come the guys. She's like, well, that's some totally edible guys. Why are you getting this from an egg? Say it with me, folks. Mr. Antenna's TV time. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. We are continuing on with various details we're adding. Like the eyes now, it's eyes time. Big glowy eyes. Did we already do this one? I think so. Almost done with the sketch. She's like, yay, snacks. She got the snacks. The eyes, they see. They see how much work I still have to do. Ah! Like, Susie, stop with snack time. We have things to do. Okay. Nope. Alright, we're switching back to our dear friend Burbly. Thank you. I'm glad you liked Henna's design. It was definitely a challenge to draw. She's hungry. Just waking up. Alright, hope you slept okay. I slept mostly okay, although I tend to wake up in the middle of the night a bunch. Susie's like, it's very important that I eat these snacks and save Chris this way. Probably. Maybe. I already did the part with Garrison. It's up. You can read it now. That was the last one I did. What I'll probably do after this part is the Miss Mizzle thing. That might be a little bit less of a thing. Yeah, the Garrison one is up. That one is not a battle though. Just a conversation. But that one was also fun to do. I think it's under the meeting Garrison label in the master post. And that one's also a two-parter. In terms of scenes I still want to do, gotta do Miss Mizzle, gotta do the one with E-Ram. Need to do another scene with talking with Sham. Lots still to do. Again, I do still have to do at least two scenes with Asriel back in the light world. More to cover. It's a silly birdly face. Okay, I got a little time before my next stretch break. Yeah, this is always a wild part I don't usually do on stream, where I'm just blazing through a bunch of different pages, just doing one aspect of it, because that makes sense in my own mind. Do it all at once. No, not that one. This one. Brother's like, I get to tell you about my special interest. Yay! Okay. Don't think they're on this page or this page. Back on this page. Is in Wayne Radio TV. Why is he missing his teeth? Give those back. I need to check out the commentary for the Snapcube Kingdom Hearts real-time dub, because I laughed really hard at that. That was exactly what I needed. Well, I guess killing's okay sometimes. Oh. Blair Witch Evil Dead charity stream. I see, I see. I didn't really check that much Wayne Radio TV. Honestly, my first introduction to it was the Spamton sweepstakes. And everybody was like, oh, Wayne Radio TV. And I'm like, cool, I don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it that it's cool. Isn't that Baba Yaga's house? Is the house with the chicken legs? Walks around? My first exposure to that was from the MST3K episode. Where they do have the witch, and she lives in the house with the chicken legs. As normal legs, that seems kind of weirder. I think you should have, you know, chicken legs on a house proper. I think I'd be more weirded out by a house with human legs than a house with chicken legs. I don't know, I guess find out eventually. Have you not seen a movie? You watch things and information is revealed to you. Tumblr post lives rent-free in my head. No eyes on that? Huh. Oh, it's on this one. Huh. Yeah, that would sound like a chicken leg. Chicken leg house. Sit down, house. House is like, okay, squash. That's how they really got the Wicked Witch of the West. If you were to have a house chasing after you and the house had legs, which would you prefer? Would you prefer to have chicken legs, crab legs, or human legs? Crab legs? I don't know. I think I'd still go with chicken legs, although, at least they can only go sideways if it's a crab leg. Say flagella? I don't know. How well, like, isn't the whole thing with flagella is that, like, you don't have to support a lot of weight on it? Could a house be supported by flagella? So I think, almost time for me to take my stretch break. I feel like they'd have to be very powerful flagella if they're going to support a house. Okay, but do the houses in FF7 have chicken legs, crab legs, or human legs? I'm the toughest frog. Wasn't that the whole thing with Sierra games is that they were like often unfairly difficult? Like you just get a puzzle wrong, it's like you're dead. Which I guess was then kind of carried over into Peasant's Quest. Burning the countryside. Aren't you usually supposed to fry a frog when you eat it? I don't know. I've never had frog legs, so I'm probably wrong. But not the whole point of frog legs is that you like deep fry them like chicken. superhuman fights. Well, I think you might just have to change the genre. You know, I can get some regular old fights. Right, and they bash and they bash and they bash. Antenna. And okay, after this I'm going to take a stretch break. Yeah, it's nice to have the characters be vulnerable. It raises the stakes. You're not like, oh, they're just going to, you know, bash each other around and break up all the scenery. It's like, oh no, they're actually in trouble. Yeah, I guess Baba Yaga probably is not. But even then, like, deep fry, that's kind of like, you know, regular food stuff. Not very fancy. I'm pretty sure fried frog legs is like the poor man's version of eating frog legs, not a fancy way. Don't need much for that. Just need some frying batter. Alright, it is time for me to do a stretch break. I'll get my orange juice and stuff. Yeah, that was something Indiana Jones did pretty well, was like fights that make you feel like you're on a roller coaster kind of thing, which I guess then lends it well to having an actual Indiana Jones roller coaster, which I haven't been on in a long time. Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, why am I getting power scaling questions about Undertale and Eldritchrune characters? I don't care. I don't care who can beat who in a fight. Please, I don't care. You know who will always win a fight in Eldritchrune? Me. I'm the video game player. I'm playing the video game. I will be the one to win the fight every time. It's me. We solved it. Who will win the fight? Well, whatever's appropriate for the story, mostly. Yeah, it's like I like the adventures part. I don't know, if I wanted to do like a fighting game, I would just play a fighting game, like, you know, Street Fighter or something. And even then, what makes a fighting game fun is like not the fact that somebody can beat somebody else, it's the fact that, you know, there's balance in the fighting and you get to, you know, choose, you know, your own character and win through skill. There's not like a clear answer there. That's what makes fighting games fun. I win all power scaling competitions by virtue of the fact that I'm not fictional. Last I checked. We all win. And by that we lose, because we live in reality. One more time. I didn't mind getting hit with the hockey stick. I thought it was funny. Like, yes, Chris, you're entitled to this. Ow. But it's funny. Ow. Me being the green Pippins drinking the acid over and over. Ow. Slurp. Ow. Slurp. Ow. I don't suck at Tekken. I probably do suck at Tekken. See, fighting games are fun, but I'm not any good at them. Just like me with racing games. I'm partially fictional. Yeah, I think I did a webcomic about that once. It should flush us down the toilet. You are the bath bomb now. And that's the problem. They only hurt themselves when they hit us with the hockey stick. I'm like, Chris, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Well, usually, like, if you are writing a scene or something, or doing world building or whatever, if you want to have, like, magic and stuff, the way you usually balance, like, wow, you can do magic powers and stuff, is that you put some kind of limitation on it. Some kind of, like, you put in some rules wherein, you know, this power is balanced by a cost. Like, it could be, you know, in a video game, the cost is usually MP, which can be depleted, or it can be, you know, it tires you out. Maybe it's hard to get the components of it. Maybe, you know, it can have unintended consequences. Like, there's lots of different ways you can scale back on, you know, magic adventures and stuff. Again, just put some guardrails in place where, okay, this is a great power, it has a great cost associated with it. I expect playing this tutorial. Yeah, anything like that. That's another reason why Harry Potter doesn't work so well. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and stuff like that. Gotta stretch. Alrighty, I return. Oh, I don't know what's going on with Tomb Raider either. Yeah, there are other options out there in terms of fantasy. It doesn't all have to be European-based stuff. It's a little harder to find, admittedly, but it does exist. Oh, sorry, your post got lost. I don't share it. Gotta put eyes on the prize. By that I mean the characters. Isn't Mediterranean, wouldn't that kind of still be considered a European? And I mean not European, I mean more like, you know, Africa, South America. Australia. Southeast Asia. Is that not? I consider Mediterranean still kind of a part of, I mean, I guess it's not quite as European, like you can, you know, do like part of Africa there and stuff like that. I guess more Southern Europe rather than Northern Europe, which is, I guess, is also a lot of fantasy falls into that area. The reason why all that happens, honestly, is because of Tolkien. Because Tolkien did it so well when he did it, everybody wants to just copy what Tolkien did, even though Tolkien's interest was definitely, you know, Northern European history and stuff. And he studied the hell out of all that, and it really shows, and people don't quite go to the same lengths he did. Yeah, Australian fantasy that's more like Aboriginal Australian fantasy. I've seen that like sometimes a little bit, but it still kind of feels like it's through a white person lens. Oh, I saw the conversation about Spider-Man, yeah. Now, honestly, I'd like to see more South American fantasy. That also gets put through a lot of white people lens. I don't know. I think South American fantasy would be really interesting. Alright, do we see Susie's thing from here? No, we do not. Okay. Almost done with this set of eyes. I think I read Lord of the Rings a really long time ago, and I was kind of maybe a little too young for it to really take a hold of me. Maybe I could try doing it again. Also, a Mesoamerican RPG, that'd be interesting. Is it like a tabletop, or is it like a game? I did see around once like a First Nations / like Native American RPG. Video game. Nice. I think in general, like, it's a good idea to, yeah, make your characters feel vulnerable. I think there's always like a part of you that's like, no, I don't want a bad thing to happen to the character, but it's also like, no, but a bad thing does have to happen to the characters. Lots of bad things need to happen, because then when they overcome it, or even don't, it feels more impactful. Gets you with them emotions. Yeah, getting distracted happens. That's fine. Tank-like scene. My thing is, I feel like Spamton was one of the easier secret boss battles. I can usually beat him first try nowadays. Knight, on the other hand... Aesthetically, it's a very cool boss fight, though, for sure. Yeah, as a set piece, it's cool. It's neato. The 10-1 was okay. I liked it whenever we like hopped to minigames, but like as a set piece, the battle was just kind of okay. Yeah, it didn't do much with it, but the little jumps to minigames part was cool. I like the fact that you're flipping through channels every time that happens. And then it ends on channel 66. Wah, 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 wah. Wonder what that means. Actually, because since you can kind of control some of the how many minigames you do, I kind of wonder if like there's a setting there it will flip through channels until you end on 66 no matter what. We're on stage for Game Changer. Yeah, that was interesting. Spamton doesn't get an audience, but Tenna does. Yeah, at the very least, I appreciated the fact that, like, the Titan boss battle really made you use the climbing mechanic. It's like, okay, you've been doing this for like half the chapter now. Here you go. You're going to be doing this a lot. Climb, climb like your heart depends on it. WarioWare, smooth moves. Yeah, the background for it is kind of okay. That's part of the problem probably because it takes up so much space on the screen. Not much room for like a big set piece. Unless we really make the character small. Yeah, there's like black and debris and that's about it. Okay. More eyes. We're going to be focusing on everybody else's eyes now. But yeah, I think part of it's just like the Titan size is just so big. Yeah, interesting. I definitely think part of the Titan set piece was just, you know, getting up there was the whole climbing segment. We're going to turn down this so we can see what we're doing with Ralsei's eyes. It does look a little different every time. Interesting. I wonder how it's going to happen in Chapter 5. Yeah, that one felt pretty scary as a boss. I died a couple times my first time playing. I'm sure we'll get some great set pieces for the last one. It's either going to be like something super cool or just like scarily blank, depending on the circumstances. That's right, we do it in Chris's home. Gotta hide Chris's fabulous hair. It's too fabulous, Chris. They can't see it. Nowhere is safe. Titans fuse with their world elements. How does that work? You know, it is the fear of darkness comes in many forms. True. Oh, fighting one that's moving, it's got to be really scary. Like, at least in that sense, yeah, we had it confined there. We could just focus on the head. It's going to be harder if it's actually, like, fully formed and hatched and heading out and smashing stuff. That could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I wonder if we'll get one in Chapter 5 or not. I'm kind of guessing no. I think we'll have other things to focus on, but could be interesting. Oh, we need to do Birdley's eyes as well. Him with his 6 eyes. We fought its fetus and its fetus's fetuses. Yeah, I guess I wonder if they'll take different forms. We did have kind of the heaven-hell thing with, like, looks kind of both angelic and demonic. So maybe they will look different, depending on where and how they're formed. Yeah, Guardian at least is an interesting name for the boss battle theme. Yeah, I get the feeling that we're going to have to do a light world fight at some point, and that's going to be scary. But on the other hand, I don't think the Titans are going to appear as Titans necessarily in the light world. I think what looks like the Titans in the dark world is going to be like an apocalyptic flooding in the light world. Starts raining and does not stop. Every Guardian is personalized. I don't think it has baby themes. I think it just kind of is just hatching, so it's still small. But the actual theming of it is more like, yeah, heaven, hell. There's Chris's eye. We got all those. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be like a baby, like, theming. It's more like it's still getting formed. It's hatching from the egg. Let's see. Flipping mask. That's the wrong color. Oh, he looks scary that way. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna just draw on the other one here, because otherwise it's gonna take too long. A little faster. Red Rouse, watch out. Get Gaius the fetus theory true. Well, we don't have essay themes in the Weird Root. He deliberately took that out. Like, that was patched really fast. I think definitely the Weird Root is supposed to be read as, like, horrible and manipulative. But as soon as it crossed the line and people were like, hey, this is, like, actual essay, he was like, oh, no. Like, and it got changed really quickly. So... If there are essay themes, I don't think they're supposed to be super obvious. Yeah. That's true. That is true. Yeah, allegory. Okay. Yeah, I think that the little shattering glass effect looks the best with that. Oh, these eyes. These eyes don't lie. I don't think that Noelle is like the Virgin Mary. Don't really see that matchup. I'm in an ad. Sorry, I'm actually not saying that much. I will wait till the ad is over. As we continue to draw some eyes. Oh, I forgot the yellow on Susie's eyes right there. We gotta fix that. Susie's like, I'm supposed to have the yellow eye. The yellow eye. Hello? Can I get the correct thing? There. Sheesh. Hitting all the wrong hotkeys today. Yes, let me know when ads are over. Oh, and I somehow forgot Birdley's feathers here too. Oh. Birdley, you and your glowy glow feathers? Get out of here with that. Alright, ads are done. I was not saying much. I was mostly just yelling at myself for hitting the wrong hotkeys. Alright, she bite. She bite some more. She bite a lot. She's still biting. Just looking for spots where I can add eyes and stuff like that. How did I miss all? Oh yes, feathers were on a different layer. I don't know, I'm switching channels all the time. Going back and forth between pages. The green text. Do a little bit with Birdley 6 eyes. Yeah, I do remember that. That was actually my original design for Tenna when I designed him as a girl, because I thought Aunt Tenna was a good pun. And it was that, but it was something else. I like the idea of like the channel numbers forming her eyes, so I did that like in an old school CRT, because that is how it used to be for me way back in the day. No more eyes to do? Okay, I think we got them all. Oh, don't get caught on noodling it to death. Sometimes you don't need that much. Okay. And I was kind of also hoping that Tina would like reference a really old like 90s commercial that I remember. But they made up one instead, which I guess is appropriate. Rather than just referencing an existing one. Fresh from the juice, fresh from the juice. Remember that silly jingle? It's like, the heck with your silly jingles. I'll silly jingle you to death. I have to go back and fill that in too. And it's like, hey, don't touch my head. Don't touch it. I gotta go in and add something else here too, but I'll do that. Yeah, they always have a red eye. A red eye flight. Picks 10 up and jingles him so hard. Oh yeah, a big part of, you know, really liking something is also recognizing what you do not like about it. In order to be a proper fan, you must also be a hater. That is the yin and yang of it. You must recognize a thing's flaws. That is true love. Okay. I do love the game. I'm excited. Somehow this face on Ralsei is very silly for some reason. Ugh. Yeah, the green tone is supposed to be, oh, this is a hallucination. Which is different from a flashback, which is a different tone. I'm just going to go through the whole range of colors here. It made the filler yell so you'd have to have Chris in Mexico. Thank you, films. Because as we all know, Mexico, famous for having not a lot of color except for yellow. And Batat is hallucinating. Guys, it all fits together. Oh yeah, true man country. We gotta travel the man country. Non-men are okay too. Green means Gamer Boy. I thought there was like some other thing. Gaster is green or whatever. I watched that video and I was like, I don't think I really got much out of this. I'm sorry. What is actually the name? Oh, the Green Pippins? Oh, Man Country? I mean, we don't know what it is. Just if you go to that area with the egg, there's a sign there that says, "Welcome to Man Country." And there's another. Then you read it again. It says, "Non-men are okay too." So I think people just kind of call it Man Country because what else are you gonna call it? We don't know what this is. fireball there later. Yeah, people just call it man country. Nope, nope, that's not bad. Yeah, well, you have to specify that because Chris is not a man. They are an NB. Non-men are allowed too. It's okay, Chris. No, this is before the Parasite one. Parasite part is quite a bit later down the timeline. Because that's after Caddy and Jockington have joined the party. Why did Chris call it man country? I don't know. We don't know what's going on. The Forgotten Man's there. Maybe it's man country because that's what Forgotten Man is. Ooh, lunch. And again, we sense only evil coming from that place. We look out and there's just gray there. Evil. Evil gray. I don't know if man country is supposed to be Chris's paradise. But I guess if you want to make your paradise girl country, you can. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. Well, it's not even said it's a paradise. It just says, welcome to man country. Non-men are okay too. Seems to be the distant past more than anything, since Forgotten Man is like, the whole world looked like this. Do you believe that? Green filter means man country. Ah, yes, that's all that it means, is green is man country. Got all the stuff there? Okay. So what does purple filter mean? I wish they would just properly light movies. Again. New York is purple? I figured that'd be blue, but maybe not. New York because of the ads. That's all New York is ads. Why is bro purple? Or else he's like, why are you purple? My human. You can't gotcha ball my human, they're mine. I'm trying to think of when did I stop for my break? Probably soonish. Nice thing about Birdley is he at least has fun shapes to draw. He's so gangly. Tana, you will never be bowling. Cereal spit take. Always groovy and never glooby. Okay, I admit it, sometimes I'm glooby. I have drawn Spampton. I have not done a boss battle for him, and I probably won't. Just because I don't know, I don't have super big ideas for it, and I'd rather focus on other things. I kind of developed a few ideas, but not enough for me to really run with it very much. But he does have a design at least. Wait, wrong thing here. Cool, creepy design. And I still gotta do Jackenstein. Still haven't thought of anything for him yet. Okay. Any other eyes we're missing here? I'll make sure I get all the character eyes we got going on here. But yeah, I'm not going to do every boss battle, especially since, as is evidenced by how long I've been working on this one, boss battles take a while. And we still got to do all the ending stuff. It's just like boss battles back to back. Just more Asgore. I do wonder what kind of position Asgore is going to be in by the time we get to the end of Chapter 5. I can't imagine it'll be the best one, but who knows. We'll see what happens. Okay, I think actually I need to stop and do my stretch break here before we get on to Chris Breakout. I can make him worse. Nope, we're out of Mexico now. Of course, you don't have to learn Spanish anymore. I do worry that Asgore is going to end up in an I can make him worse situation. Asgore, I just don't think this is going to go well for you. Got the wrong filter, Tina. No, that's just the general, like, dream flashback state. Well, I guess usually flashbacks are, like, in pure black and white, but in this case it's kind of a dream state, so went for the gold filter. Eventually I'll use every color filter and I won't be able to tell them apart. That's okay. Well, they don't live in Mexico. They live in generic medieval European place. We're not going to specify. We don't need no specifics. We have giant monsters. Even less of an accurate timeline than what Toby does. Yeah, talking about, criticizing things you love. Toby is a great storyteller, but when it comes to timelines, he's like, whatever. Vibes. It's vibes. And that can drive people a little bit nuts. Trying to figure out what happens when. And it's like, when did this happen? This time. Like, even the thought of, like, okay, when did Des disappear? It gets kind of complicated when you try and, like, work out years for it. Vibe lines of timelines, true. In Undertale, it's like, okay, what's the time difference between, when Kara fell and when Frisk showed up? Probably at least 100 years, we think. How long exactly? Shrug. Shruggity shrug, I am a bug. That's what Tina says. Now that's just not the priority. Stretch. Okay, be right back for one more stretch. All that business. Alrighty, I return for more vibe timeline vines. I don't know. Don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. Try and get through all the rest of the eyes on this stuff. And we probably still gotta go back to Ralsei because Ralsei just requires so dang many little effects on him. He's a demanding guy. Actually, I kind of wonder if this requires a claustrophobia warning. Does this count for that? Sometimes it's hard to tell if something requires a warning or not. Somebody's like, "Ah, I warned for that," and I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Dang Fierin looking up meme. It's hard to do that move. Can't see eyes here. Hey, yo! Remember that. Whew. We'll at least get eyes and stuff done today. I probably won't get, I don't know if I'll get to all of the various effects I gotta do, but if I don't finish that today, I should finish it tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best. So this will come out this week at some point. Yeah. Big crack. Goodness gracious, I'm ready for it to be done. I thought it would be done like 2 weeks ago. But no. No, we got stuff to do. Make sure I get everything. Whew. So many little bits and pieces of elements that need to like be considered. Okay. Almost done. Nope. That one. This next one will probably also include Caddy and Jockington, so even more complications. Alright, and Chris is angry. I'm always so angry. Ugh, got that thing where hair got stuck on me? Get off! Ah! I hate that. Be gone, hair. I really need a haircut before the break because it's getting too long again. Getting everywhere. Can't even blame the pet on that because she doesn't have any hair. It's just me. It's all me. Like, well, unlike you weird mammals, I hang on to my skin and then it comes off all at once. It's very efficient. And all that. Nothing there? Nope. Alright. We're almost done with eyes. That is a good thing. Once again. Or else I get scary with the red eyes. I wonder what it is specifically about like red eyes that people find really scary. Like, of all the colors, that's the one that, like, we as humans are like, ah, ooh, bad. But why red specifically? Like, that creature's not supposed to have red eyes. That's evil. Alright, now that we've done eyes, we're on to our next thing to go through all the pages checking for it, and that's the swirliness at the bottom of Ralsei's cape. He's got kind of this smoky effect where he touches the ground. Let's make it complicated. Hooray! We love a complicated character design. Love it. I'm gonna go through and do all that, and then we'll probably go through with the shadow layer. We'll see if we have time for much more than that. Let's see. This has to go under bubbles. I do drop shadow layer though. It's kind of crazy how just much doing that will just like, oh, okay, these characters feel like they're in an actual space. Not for Ralsei though. Let's get fuzzy. No. It's like, this is kind of obnoxious. Okay. don't know what it is, but I feel like I have to like tap multiple times in order to get my dang eyedropper tool to work. Used to be you could just do it once, and now it's kind of like, no, I'm gonna take my precious time with that. Whatever. Maybe it's just the pen needs a new nib, but that's also possible. Chris is trying to be intimidating. They're just facing the wrong way. Sorry, Chris. It was like, not my fault. I can't see. I can't actually see. Hell yeah, core. I do hope in the future we get basically Deltarune's equivalent of core, just like an area music that absolutely grabs me by the throat and is like, oh, I can't stop listening to this. Because I do like the area music we all got, and it's all been very good, but core remains undefeated in my brain. Scarlet Forest, Pandora Palace, Second Sanctuary. Funny, Pandora Palace didn't quite catch me as much. Some people I've noticed really like Pandora Palace. I'm like, it's fine. But that one didn't grab me as much. But I do like all of the sanctuaries, especially Second and Third Sanctuary. Second Sanctuary, very, very, very good. Where's that line sticking out there? Where does that come from? Another medium. Oh yeah, I do love Here We Are. Here We Are I like a lot. I feel like Here We Are and Amalgam do not get enough attention. Like, these are really good, interesting themes. Also, Ruins definitely feels invasive in my brain as well. Maybe just because that's the first one that... Oh, more hairs. First one I heard, but I was like, oh. Like, hearing Ruins for the first time kind of blew my mind. Man, when I first heard Core, I thought it was a boss theme. Like, wait, this is an overworld theme? But I'm also excited for more of From Now On, because I think that has surpassed Rude Buster as, battle theme I really love. I can imagine those would work well together. Yeah, I think I've heard that mashup, actually. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on my playlist. Which I'm growing more and more all the time. It'll get larger. You can't stop it. Wait, pretty sure we don't get to... Wait, no, do we get to that? Yeah, we do get to some. Ralphie being like, ah! My human. I think someone asked me to rank all the Undertale and Deltarune boss battles in terms of like difficulty for me, and I don't really know where to start with that. I guess it depends on like who do you count as a boss? Like, do we mean just final and secret bosses? Do like Sweet Cat and Cake count as a boss? Like the various times we have to fight rules, is that a boss? Define boss battle. Or, you know, is Clover and K-Round, are those bosses? K-Round definitely is. Is Clover a boss? Is Wire a boss? Okay, if K-Round counts as a boss, does the time you fight C-Round first count as a boss? That would be kind of technically nothing, since Susie immediately hits it and it flies away. Susie, why don't you try complimenting the enemy? I really like that axe in your face. She trying her best to be all tough and stuff. And yeah, I beat up a little guy. It's bloodthirsty. It's so powerful. Susie, honey. Okay, let's see what else. Go through and find every instance of Ralsei touching the ground. Prefer bad guy Susie. I love Susie either way. I'll always love you, Susie Deltarune. I'm sure there's going to be some instance in the future where circumstances push her back into her old way of doing things because this, you know, fragile sense of friendship she's developed, it's prone to breaking under the correct stresses. Not that it's entirely unfixable. But I'm sure it'll get complicated in the future, as it always does. At the same time, you can tell when Susie is, like, being a bully, being a bad guy. She's really, like, putting on an act. She is trying to present herself as, like, this is, like, that's not really the natural state of affairs for her. She is, you know, kind of uses insults as, you know, terms of endearment. She's not nice, but in terms of, I don't think she's naturally violent towards people. I think it's clear that she does that more out of fear and trying to defend herself than actively enjoying being violent. Like, some people are like, hell yeah, beating people up is super fun, and like, Susie thinks that gross things are cool. But I don't think she thinks violence is fun. I think she sees it as kind of more like necessary. She's trying to work on doing like healing magic, and she kind of seems like kind of sad when she's like, yeah, I guess I'll stick with hurting people magic. That's what I'm good at. But she doesn't seem like happy and excited about that. What happened to the special lines here? Hello? Yeah, literally what happened there. Oh, no wonder. Okay, I accidentally copied over that. I'm like, what happened with that? That's what happened with that. Let's merge those down, actually. Right, we're doing more of that. When was I supposed to take my break? I forgot. Actually, no, I think I still got a ways to go. Much as I like her now. I definitely liked her in chapter 1. I've just grown to like her even more with time. Every chapter has made me more, given me more Susie love. 60% of my brain at any given moment is, is just rotating Susie Deltarune in my head. But yeah, definitely even in chapter 1 I liked her. We did get all that. We did get all that. Okay. Whew. Next step, I think, is a shadow layer. Shadow layer time. We're getting through it. I usually have that at like 60%. We can maybe turn up if we need to, but we'll do 60 for now, see how it goes. Again, I don't think we've come across any characters so far I'm like, oh, I like these characters less with time. Except for, I guess, maybe Asgore. But there's still time. Things might yet turn around for him. One can only hope. I can only hope. Game, please turn around things for Asgore for me. Please. I'm a little bit wary about how he'll do in the next chapters, but I guess we will find out. Now, I imagine we're going to have to turn around our opinion on Sans pretty quick, too. Stuff's got to change regarding him. Oh, that's a long charity. Have they slept at all? Have they taken any breaks? Like, I know sometimes you can do, like, 24-hour charity streams and stuff, but 44 hours, we're hitting, like, Donkey Kong Country 64 things or whatever. Okay, good. I'm glad they take breaks. Because otherwise, that might not be very good for you. Oh, gotta get that. They're probably going to have to erase around that for good old Aunt Tenna. Is a godsend? Oh, but what's a godsend? And that's a long time to be on camera. Performing is work. Godsend, yeah. Okay, I understand now. I was saying Godsands, and I was like, huh? I missed something there. So, no. A godsend. Hopefully they're raising a lot of monies for charity. What is green chicken? What makes it green? Did we put it in like a green sauce? Like what's happening there? Chicken with green dye. Okay. I mean, that theoretically should not hurt you. It's just dye. Maybe it's just that combined with other things. Should it be ham? Green eggs and ham? That would make sense for, like, you know, a green food to eat. Well, maybe it's more dangerous to dye ham green. I don't know. Okay, it's probably for the bit then. Do it for charity. Oh, if it was green poisonous. Like Toby's poison status at the stream. I got flip poisoning. I gotta rewatch that, honestly. That was so fun. I really enjoyed that. Like, whenever anything with the fandom gets me down, it's like, okay, you actually hear Toby talk about his own work, and it's like, oh, wait, yeah, actually, this is good, and he knows what he's doing. That's awesome, actually. Well, that's a long time to look miserable, sheesh. Must be 8. I'm glad as well. And again, I appreciate the fact that a lot of the stream was like, I got inspiration from this thing. Actually, this was based on this idea. I got this from this thing. Just like, that was nice. I don't know if he was thinking about that so much. Because, again, it is about time for winter newsletter, so he brought up, hey, you know, I know we need to do the newsletter. Here's translation progress. I have drawn robots in the past. Yes, I have not drawn specifically the Vivzy style. I could if necessary. I've done it at least. Ite. I was mostly, again, just thinking of the green Pippins drinking acid. Slurp, ow. Slurp, ow. Slurp, ow. It's part of my theory, boss. Actually, I might need to do a shadow layer on Tenna here a bit, because they're crossing over with him. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. Oh well, we'll still do it. You think just because a theory is cool, that means it's correct? Well, yeah. Whatever. Slurp, ow. Slurp, ow. Slurp, ow. Actually, we can probably bump this up a bit. He's rebooting the stream. Aw. Oh well, technical difficulties happen, I guess. Especially for something that long, sheesh. this is on multiply. I thought that was on already on multiply. No, it was on normal. And I wanted it to be on multiply. Also, I think I gotta stop and do my stretch break here. And then we'll do our final session, in which we try and add shadows everywhere. Birdley's trying to give Tenna a headache. Shouldn't be hard for him. Welcome back. We're adding some shadows. And if we get through that, poke a little bit at effects before we're done. But making pretty decent progress. It's happening slowly yet surely. Brent doesn't even have to try. All he has to do is talk. And he'll do it. Birdley, natural headache giver. Kind of wondering if I should add like a dreamy blur filter over the dream sequence stuff, or if that would be too confusing. I'm not sure. Filters, filters, filters everywhere. Right, and stretch. Oh, Cannon treated him better than I did. I was just kind of an ass to Birdley. I didn't do anything with him. Sorry, Birdley. I didn't know you'd get turned into frozen chicken. I didn't know. It was a surprise. It's not, none offense taken. It's just the truth. I was just mean to Birdley. That's just the truth of it. Oh well, I'm less mean to him in Eldritchrune. It's mostly joking in this sense. He gets to actually do some cool things. Obnoxiously cool, but... I'm glad he's frozen in here and in there, and we're out here, and he's the sheriff, and... Anyway, where's the caveman? Just like me, gonna go do the rest of my stretches. Be right back. Alrighty, I return. We'll do our final draw session here. You got a complimentary gift. It's a scam. Again. Yes, because I will be stopping at noon. I still think it's a scam. Yes, no, when I say final session, I just mean like the last half hour of the stream where we're working on this. I'm retiring from drawing panels forever. I just now told you about it. There will never be another one again. Definitely don't check back next week. Which there will be more drawing. No, I did hear about that. I heard a lot about that. It sucks ass. Honestly, somebody might get sued about that, considering apparently the, actual, anime company didn't agree to that either. Bad luck. But trust me, no, I did hear about that. Oh, well, I don't have, whatever their audiobook thing is anyway. I just get my audiobooks from the library. You can get audiobooks for free from the library. You can do it. Nope, it's never about upholding copyright law. It's always like, what can we get away with in terms of stealing money from you? I do mean the library. Why do you suppose it's spelled wrong in, like, both universes? Is it just like a monster thing, or what is it? Well, that's why you go to your library and you ask for the books you want. If they don't have the book you want, you go, hey, can you get this book for me, please? And then they might get it for you. Don't be afraid to ask for the books you want. You can do it. No one can stop you. That's good. I have a really nice library that's pretty close to me. It's like a 10-minute walk away. So that's pretty useful. I've mostly been using it for audiobooks. But then I realized, wait a minute, why am I driving out all the way to Staples and like paying however many 25 cents per page in order to print something when I need something printed, when I can walk 10 minutes to the library and get it done for free? I was a foolish fool. So I'm just going to do that. From now on, it's like I don't have to go to Staples to print something. I'll just print it at the library. Since I stopped owning a printer because they just kind of stopped being viable. I don't print things often enough to justify it, but sometimes you need something printed, and it's like, okay, I'll just go to the library and print it for free. Yeah, even then, I think the library like makes you pay after like the first 5 pages or something like that. Like it's not completely free, but usually I don't have to print a lot. And even when you have to pay for it, it's like 5 cents a page as opposed to like 50 cents a page at Staples. Yeah, if I have to print like a lot of stuff, it'll start to charge me. But again, still cheaper than going to Staples. Yeah, exactly. At least last I saw, it's like, okay, if you're only printing like, 5 pages or something, that you can do that for free. After that, they'll charge you a small amount. Oh, no, she's excited because there's all these little guys for her to munch on. She's like, holy crap! It's a little chartreuse board for me. Of little guys. They're like, we'll stop you. Probably. Susie, no, the chartreuse board is a trap. Don't do it. It's a trap. I mean, she's not really enjoying biting into hard mirror metal stuff on Tenna's arm. She's more like, hooray! Little guys! Bluey voice, hooray! Oh, I don't know that game. All those dang shadow guys. And why do they give them all complicated designs after design around? Here come a bunch of little guys. Oh yeah, I've heard of Phantom Purpose. Haven't played it. Another shadow thing up here. Oh, okay, then yeah, it's probably still on the request page. It's there. I'm surprised nobody asked for a request this session. I had the page out and everything. It's been quiet on that front. I mean, always next time. Susie's like, I bite. Just because they're a friend doesn't mean they're yours. These teeth, they bite. Whatever that means. Okay, next time for sure. I will have it there next time. I'm getting close. It's getting close to it. Look, another shadow thing. Over the brain. I'll fully admit, I never really pay attention to those recap your year things. I'm like, I don't really care. I'm sorry. I'll look back on my own time to remember what I did. I don't need no metrics. But that's just me. I definitely played a lot of Eldritchrune this year, just from both the new chapters and trying to find secrets in the new chapters, because I am bad at finding the secrets when I first play them. Good, that's how it should be. Keep your privacies. Otherwise, Susie will eat your privacies. Nom nom. These minion guys are not very smart. Not the brightest crowns in the box. What is the brightest crown in the box? I always feel like it's some wacky color that's like neon orange looking thing. Maybe it's best not to be the brightest crown in the box, because the brightest crown in the box often is kind of obnoxious looking. I guess so. How often do you think people use, like, white crayons, though? I guess it depends on what you're drawing on. Maybe if you're on, like, construction paper, use it a bit more that way. You're drawing on construction paper a lot? I sure don't. And she's getting a lot of guys. Not enough to fill her up, but it's at least, you know, helping to put a dent in it for a little bit. That's why she's excited. Yeah, I guess it depends on if you mean like lightness or saturation. They're two different things. Depending on what you're doing. Actually, do I need to draw? Probably could copy this again. Like, yeah, from now on. I love this song. I feel like the last time I really used a lot of like gel pens in earnest was when I got a little diary in high school, and it was like all black paper. It looked really cool. So I'm like, oh, I gotta draw on the black paper. I gotta use my gel pens on the black paper. Noelle looks really weird in this kicking deer position because of the stupid icicles that hang from her bottom. I'm like, how does this work? Down a little further, actually. Yeah, black paper's fun to draw on. It's fun to draw on like colored paper. For some drawing classes I took in school, they would actually kind of encourage us to use colored paper, like a neutral gray color paper, because then you're not starting from white and going backwards in terms of values. You're starting from a mid value and working out in terms of both lights and darks. I suppose especially if you're like, you know, doing a painting that has like an underpainting to it, then for the most part you're not just starting on white canvas, you are starting from a mid-tone ideally. But oftentimes the only paper available is white, so gotta make do. Yeah, brown tan paper is like a good mid-tone. The way you can take it lighter color for highlights and still take it, excuse me, into shadows for darker tones. Oh, Birdley's in yap mode. You can't attack when he's in yap mode. The yapper. Birdley switched from yap mode to attack mode. I can't switch it off. Well, that's the whole point, is that Chris was like, go my beast, attack Tenna, and Tenna's like, how about I distract you and then we'll just focus on you, Chris. Now the beast can't help because they're all distracted. Do not help Chris in this case. Actually, wait, do we have to... Yeah, we do gotta do some shadows up on top here. These are some pretty heavy layer parts here. Heavy layer pages. And that's how it be sometimes. Helps if we put it on multiply. Talk about blocks. Got anything else going on? Oh yeah, that's still going. Alright, back to this. Chris, no, he has antenna hands! Beware! Jesse, no! I've never seen Breaking Bad. That one I'm not aware of. Sometimes you gotta take a long break, especially because a lot of stuff's happening, or else a part just takes a long time like this one does. Boss battle. Small, you're on TV. Even though we don't have TV back now. One of my favorite jokes is MC3K jokes they've done a couple times is, you know, it's an old movie and they'll give some price that seems kind of small and the joke will be, well, that's a lot of money back now. Hello, thank you for coming. Unfortunately, we're getting close to finishing for the day, but you can join us for the time we have. I am adding shadows. And Chris is having problems. Yeah, thank you for joining. Always appreciate you being here. I need TV time playing right now. That would be appropriate. Instead of Spantom's getting it again. Well, I'm pretty sure there's more remixes of Spantom's theme than there are other ones. It's been around longer. And everybody likes Spantom's theme. Spamton. Gee, Spamton. Okay, wow, Mouse was really desperate to be an artist. Ratatouille, but for crayons. Mouseatouille. Spamton has 8 themes. Theme hog. Why do you get all the themes? Gee, Spamton, how come Toby lets you have 8 themes? But yeah, in terms of Plastica, yeah, I don't think that's an issue for mice to chew through. They can chew through drywall. I imagine plastic is totally doable. Actually need to do a little bit of shadows there. A green filter. Actually, I see Chris standing on the ground. I gotta add some effects over here too. Actually, I have a lot of effects to add to this page. Oh no. Oh no. Well, the mouse did want to create something. We wanted to make a mess. A beautiful little mouse mess. Man, anybody ever see that, like, I think it was like 90s, early 2000s movie or whatever, Mouse Hunt? Where it's like, haha, Mouse being tormented. Mouse torments these guys who are trying to sell a house by causing mouse destruction. I didn't like that movie very much. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what it was. But, like, I saw that in theaters as, like, a kid, and I was like, I don't like this. Maybe it had kind of, like, that, you know, secondhand embarrassment style thing. I don't know what it was, but, I wasn't terribly fond of it. Maybe that was it. Maybe the humor was just really mean. Like, there was nobody to root for in that movie. I didn't want to root for the mouse, and I didn't want to root for the guys, because the guys were awful. Never quite understand that. Like, Home Alone, it was kind of the same stuff as Home Alone, but Home Alone, like, was not as bad as the mouse hunt. I never saw Home Alone 2, and I'm definitely not going to see it now. But, yeah, like, Home Alone, like, it's got some, like, kind of cringe, you know, painful humor, but not horrible. It's a little bit slapsticky. And I don't know why, but that balance of it from Mouse Hunt did not work for me. Well, Macaulay Culkin's doing okay these days. Oh, gotta do that one up there. I think he is okay. Home Alone violence. Okay, that probably explains it. Yeah, I know there's like there's you know slapstick violence in Home Alone 1, like the slipping on the ice one. I remember I think he gets like tarred or electrocuted or something at some point. It's like cartoony but a little bit uncomfortable. Staple gun to the crotch. Ooh, I don't know about that. Ew, no, not even like a regular staple gun? Like, oh, no, thank you. Duster's wall staples got to them. Ugh, no, thank you. The only main thing, well, aside from the other stuff, the only main thing I remember about Home Alone 2 is that when I was working on a Christmas episode for My Little Pony, they wanted to do a bunch of, like, Christmas movie references to, you know, other Christmas movies, people as ponies. So we had, like, you know, Charlie Brown and Linus ponies. We actually had Sherlock Holmes ponies, too. But they were, you know, because they were kind of in more like a Victorian garb or something like that. We had Sherlock Holmes ponies. And then also had to put in there, I guess, the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2. She was a pony. And maybe Macaulay Culkin as well, as a pony. Was it? Okay. Oh, no, also another one. I did put this in myself. I added this in. There was an elf pony, the Buddy the Elf. He was a pony. I had a shot of him getting chased by a raccoon. But there was Buddy the Elf as a pony. There's probably some other ones I was missing too. We did a lot of references. It was a fun way to make like little references to like, you know, real world things, and also just like design gets to have fun. It's like design the celebrity as a pony kind of thing. They only have to show up like, you know, 1 or 2 episodes. They get added to a big library of ponies. Yeah, Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2, and probably also Macaulay Culkin. They have pony versions. Actually, I don't think the shadow would be pointing that way as much. I think the one everybody like got all freaked out about was the Rick and Morty ponies, who appear in like one shot. That wasn't an episode I worked on. I don't think I drew the Rick and Morty ponies, but they do show up in They were included in an episode I worked on. Gotta go to the pony to mention Morty. I don't know, Rick. I haven't watched much Rick and Morty at all. Like some of season 1 and that's it. I don't know, kind of both. Friendship is Magic specifically was 9 seasons in the movie and stuff like that. Which is, not gonna lie, that is unusually long for a kid's show. Most of the time you are lucky if you get 3 seasons. The fact that we got 9 was kind of a big deal. Especially like that kind of kid show, like a more toddler kid show, like for preschool shows. Those can go pretty long because they're extremely formulaic. You know, we're just doing the same plots over and over again because these are for like 3-year-olds. But something like MLP, where actually there's like continuity continuously and like real villains that like develop and like, you know, characters changing over time and stuff like that. The fact that went 9 seasons is pretty unusual. I'm glad we got that time. Got to explore a lot of ideas that way. I have not seen Smiling Friends, so I have no opinion on it. I might like it. I don't know. Never seen it. I see it referenced a lot, but I haven't actually like watched an episode. It seems kind of in the same vein as yeah, it seems like same vein as Gumball. It feels like an Amazing World of Gumball kind of thing. That was the impression I got from it, at least in terms of like art style. Like kind of a mishmash of a lot of different art styles. Maybe that and kind of like Chowder as well. But I haven't seen an episode, so can't judge it. I do like experimental. I like it when things get kind of weird and take chances, so I might like it. I would just have to find it sometime and watch and see if I like it. Any other shadows to do here? That's my problem. I don't have any lazy afternoons ever. Ugh, it's the kind of thing I'd have to like find and put on during like dinner. That's usually the only time I get to like actually sit down and watch something, because at least I'm keeping myself busy with food. Whereas most of the time, if I have something on, I'm working. And if I'm working on something and then I can't pay, you know, super close attention to what's happening, so I don't want to put on anything that requires like me to actually watch it. That's why video essays work well for me, because like, yeah, you watch some of it, but a lot of it's like, you know, just somebody talking at you about something. So half the animation industry runs on video essays, probably more than half at this point. So if it was something that I have to actually watch, then I have to like set aside some time to, you know, watch it, as opposed to like having it on. Also depends on how I get a hold of it, because at this point, in terms of streaming services, I have Netflix, and that's about it. I have Tubi, I guess. And I'll watch stuff on YouTube. Even though streaming is, even as I speak, it is screwing us over. I am part of the problem. I am also being screwed over by it. Hold on to what physical media I have, but boy, is it hard to find that anymore. Yay, I love corporate consolidation. This is gonna be so great for my industry. Ugh, I need water now. I screamed at it. Scream at you, stupid Netflix. Stupid whatever. Oh! Oh! Screaming into my water. That's how mad I am. That was like keeping me up at night. I'm so mad about it. 9 gorillion layoffs. That's all the layoffs. We're not going to have any more shows. Thank you, Netflix. You're going to keep getting new content. No, you're not. I know how these things work. I know, what's that Onion article? Just 6 corporations remain? Pretty dang accurate. We're gonna have, like, 1 for food, 1 or 2 for entertainment. It pretty much is the wasteland of Netflix versus Disney. We have 1 for internet. What of our 6 corporations, like, I don't know, Monsanto, Disney, Google, I don't know, Apple. Ugh, this is going to be a sad note to end on. Corporate takeovers. I don't like them. Man, you know what I remember from Netflix? I used to get that in the mail. They would mail you a movie through the mail, the post office, and you would get an actual disc in the mail. That was my first, like, you think I'm lying? No. That was our first exposure to Netflix. It was like, oh, that's so cool. It's like going to Blockbuster, but they'll just mail you the movie. And now look where we are. Now look at it. Chris is checking out of this nonsense. Okay. But I think that's all I can do for today. I'm getting really close to finishing it. Back to cable prices. Whoa, only you have even less options. Whoa, I love our situation. This is not so much okay, if you're hearing blunt hatred from me, it's because I am in this industry. This affects me and my friends very directly in that me and the people I know will have less jobs. We will have less employment, which means we will not be able to afford to live. So yeah, that's just the kind of, it's not like oh hoo hoo, I'm so sad about, my shows. This is a situation of like, me and my friend's livelihood is at stake. So yeah, it's gonna elicit blunt hatred. I'm just, yeah, that's why. From my end. Anger and sarcasm, because like, what else are you supposed to do? I mean, obviously you can unionize, that's part of it. But I don't think there's nuance to be had here, because this is just blatantly bad for my industry. And then in turn it's going to be bad for you, the consumer, because you are going to get less stuff and it's going to be more expensive. So it's not a good situation. So I'm sorry to leave it off on this note. Let's do a happier note. Okay, what happier note can we leave it off on rather than corporate consolidation? Guess what? Next year, officially less than a year until Chapter 5. Okay, before we head off, what month do you predict Chapter 5 will come out in? I'm predicting September, October myself. Oh, that's cool. Congrats to your friend. That's really neat. Glad they got engaged. I hope it all goes well. Marriage to come soon. That's great. That's a lovely thing. Also thinking September, August-ish. Oh, Geometry Dash. That's cute. A little geometry wedding. Okay. Any other predictions? I think a lot of us are thinking like third quarter. All that business. Whew. I gotta go get lunch myself and try and see if I can help out my poor lizard who has no bugs to eat. She should just eat Tina. Aunt Tina, even though she doesn't eat ants. Those are way too small for her. They're just little specks of stuff. It would be nice to let be earlier than Toby thinks. That would be cool. But I understand him giving a more generous time for that, because it's better to anticipate things will take longer than you think than shorter. But it would be cool if it came out before third quarter. Probably July. It could be a birthday present for me if it was in July. That would be pretty cool. I'd be down with that. I guess it depends on how long translation and if bug fixes go well and all that stuff, which we can cross our fingers if that's the case. It would be cool if it was earlier. I guess we'll find out. But for now, I gotta call it here in terms of drawing. I don't have that much more to do. Again, I'm getting close to the end. I think this will be out Wednesday, Thursday. That's my goal. Have it out Wednesday, Thursday, because I got to do a few more things for it, plus the transcript, etc., etc. So soon this will be out. Soon. Yay! The doodle sheet, we didn't do anything to the doodle sheet today. There was no additions to it today, but you can see the doodle sheet otherwise. You can see we're close to finishing up the doodle sheet. No new ones today, but soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate you being here. There will be more of this next Sunday, as far as I know, plus more off on Friday. Yeah, Silk Song on the sheet. True. People ask for some Silk Songs, some skongs. You can ask for those next time, if you have the points. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and that your week goes well, and all that other business. Thank you so much again for being here, and yeah, I will see you all next time. Alrighty, I'll see you later.